All in. We said we weren't going to do the Eddie Stobart build, but we got the second one. So we'll be building part 2 of the Eddie Stobart build, which I have here. Just see what it's like, because I mean, again, typically what you get with these, I might have mentioned the last one, is what I kind of refer to as the enticing parts. So early doors in one of these part work builds, you typically get on a car, you typically get either the bonnet or the grille or something kind of pretty to lure you in. So the kind of first one, you get a nice big chunk of car, and you might not use it for months after that. And then the first, I'd say 3 or 4 parts tend to be parts to sort of entice you in. And I think Eddie Stobart's doing the same. I'll show you what the third one is, but that's fine. It's to catch your eye, because I mean, if you're in a store and the first part is, you know, a camshaft or a gearbox, you're probably not going to jump on it. But if you've got a nice big shiny piece with the paintwork on it, you're more interested. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack it open. We're going to build it. It's the door that we're building this one, and again, I'll explain why we are and aren't doing it at the end. But it's a really nice one, man. So I mean, if you're thinking about it, go for it. It really is nice. But anyway, we'll get it open. We'll have a look at it, and we'll see how. Okay, so sorry, to forgive the Iron Man. We just built that this morning. So we got here we are. So this issue is $5.99. They will be going to the regular price from issue 3 onwards. This is what we're getting. So we're getting the driver's side door, wing mirrors, which again, I'll have a look at it, and I'll talk to you about wing mirrors in a little bit. And the magazine, we have on the back of this all the blurb that we got with the last one, just telling you more about it. The magazine, and here we have issue 3. First wheel, tire and wheel trim. Something that did dawn on me is you're going to have to do this 14 times. You're going to have to build 14 of these wheels, which is, you know, it's a lot. If you've ever built these wheels before, they're nice, but they're not fun, if that makes sense. If you've been waiting, you know, a month for your build to turn up, and what turns up is 4 wheels, it's kind of disappointing. But yeah, that's that on that one. So what we're going to do is we'll crack it open, we'll have a look at the magazine, we'll have a look at the parts, put it together, and we'll see what it's like. So here are our parts. Metal, everything else is plastic. And the most disappointing one for me is that the door handle is plastic. So I'm not delirious about that, I gotta be honest, because other cars that I've built, the door handles are metal. But you know, no harm, no foul. We'll give it a fair shot, and we'll put it together and see what we think. We've got the magazine over here, and again, we have the subscription blurb with free gifts, your list of parts, instructions to build, and then the usual, the story of Eddie Stobart. I mean, I'm curious how they're going to spread that story over 130 issues, I believe. But we'll see. And then coming next, your first wheel. So let's put this together, and we'll see how we do. We have assembled the first 2 mirrors. Fairly easy. It's literally just a case of popping the mirrors into the frames, and they hold in with lugs. We are going to attach both of those mirrors to the bar, and then we're going to attach the bar to the door. Okay, so that's the mirrors attached to the frame. Now, if I'm going to critique this, and I've got to, you can already see that mirror is slightly warped. It's not the best quality mirror in the world, and my other issue is this actual bar. You can see the plastic join quite badly, and it's plastic. On some of the features so prominently on the truck, I would like to have seen this as metal, not plastic. But that is me nitpicking to a degree, but you'll see what I mean. You can see the, I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a plastic seal where it's come from the mould, and I'm not loving that. I mean, this can, you could buff this down, I suppose. But again, for something that's that prominent on the truck, I would like to have seen metal rather than plastic. But it is what it is, and that's the way they've chose to go with this one. Again, with it's like with the handle we're about to touch the door. This is plastic. Again, it would have been nice to see this as metal. For instance, on the Ecto 1 Ghostbusters build, all of the door handles are metal and nice, and will, you know, take a bit more abuse than what's going to happen. Because my concern is if this and this is going to be fitted to this door, if it requires to flip this vehicle over after the doors are fitted, you run the risk of breaking these quite easily, and that's my main concern. Anything that's that thin, that's jutting off the side of the model, I'm concerned of snapping, which is that's my main issue with it. It's not quality as such. It's more the fact of safety for when you're going to move this thing around, and plastic is not going to take that kind of abuse. So you're going to need to be very careful with wing mirrors, and it's the same on any of these builds. The wing mirrors are a bloody nightmare. If anything's ever going to snap off, it's going to be your wing mirrors. Concern number 2 that we've come across is now when we attach the handle to the door, we're going to put it in here and we're going to screw it in from the back, but this one won't sit flush, and the reason why is because we've got paint build up in the socket that this is due to go into, and we've also got excess flash on the end of the handle. So if you're going to try and force this in there, you're going to snap it. So I'm going to very carefully take some of the flash off this handle and see if I can slightly open that up a bit and get some of the paint build up in there. But again, on issue 2, for that to already be happening, slight concern. So we've got exactly where we need to be. If I can show you this, it will sit flush. So if you're doing this and yours hasn't sat flush, it will sit flush. All I had to do on this one is didn't actually have to clear any flash off the handle. I cleared some of the paint buildup out of the socket for the lug on the handle, and I did that very simply, very carefully. I have my tweezers here. I simply inserted one end of the tweezers in that and just gave a slight turn, just ever such a turn, just to clear out some of that paint buildup from the side, and then the handle sat in perfectly flush, which we screw in from the back. I will say this, if you're like me and you've got aging eyes, this dark green against black screws is a bit of a nightmare. It's why I can show you, I use my modelling glasses, or the woman repellers, as my wife calls them. But they do help my aging eyes when it comes to seeing these very small screws going into these holes when it's dark on dark. The plus is the screws won't be so prominent against this dark green, so they will get lost. I mean, there's going to be a line into this door anyway, but yeah, just a heads up. I mean, it's they're worth getting. You can get them for about 10 quid on eBay, or Amazon, sorry. Yeah, they're totally worth it. I never thought I'd have to use them, but as I said, the older I get, the more I need these. And there we have the completed part 2. So this is part 2, all complete, with a mirror bar attached to our driver's side door. I like it. I mean, you can see the old school phone. I mean, those of us that are old enough to remember when phone numbers were 5 numbers. It's cute. It's again, it's a very nice build. I mean, I do have some concerns, and I'll tell you what those are. Firstly, this is thin, really thin. I don't think it would take a lot to bend or damage this at all, which is surprising. Normally, the doors for these vehicles are a lot heavier, a lot thicker, but this is an incredibly thin metal. Now I know there's going to be the door card is going to go into here, and then I would hope a winder mechanism for the window, but again, this is incredibly light and incredibly thin, which again, it's a minor concern, but it's a concern. Concern number 2 is, as I discussed, this is plastic. It would not take much to snap this. It's held in with tiny screws, and it really would not take much to catch that on something and snap it off completely. Minor concern. The paint buildup, it's common with part works to get, I mean, it's mass produced, so you're going to get paint buildup. But again, if you're new to these, which some of you may be, don't force anything. Do not force anything. If it doesn't fit, take a look at it, and if there is paint buildup inside it, very gently clear it out. Like I said, with the tweezers is a good way of doing it, just to turn and just to see if you can get it cleared out, and then it should go in. So that's a concern. The other one, and this is quite a big concern of mine, is this. And this was the bag the screws came in. So DPO ones. However, these screws that we just used in there are referred to constantly through the instructions as PBs. PB screws. Then why do they come in a bag called DPO one? It's unusual. Typically, Partworks, the screws come in two types. So it's screws that go into metal and screws that go into plastic. So, and they're alphabetized. So an AP screw would be screw size A, and it goes into plastic. That's your indicator. An AM screw would be screw size A that goes into metal. So you know which is which. And typically, what you can do with that is, if you know you screw it into metal, what you can do is you can use a little 3-in-1 oil to help the transition go in, and that's what you use. But figuring out which screw is which is going to be difficult, so I would advise getting yourself a pillbox from any chemist supermarket, marking the name of the screws that's inside the magazine, not on the bag. So mark the name of the screws that features in the magazine. If I show you on your pillbox, so here we go, you can see 1.2 by 3mm PB screws, and that's what they're referred to as throughout this bill, PB screws. But that is not what is on the bag. DPO is on the bag. So empty them out your bags, put them into your pillbox, into the category that they're supposed to be. So you check your itinerary and put them into your pillbox. That would be my advice. So I very, very crudely mocked up kind of where these parts will go. I mean, naturally the door's going to sit higher than this. There's going to be a lot more to it, but it's just to give you an idea of kind of the scale and how it will come along. It's lovely. It really is. The one thing I want to mention as well is, because this is 1/12 scale, it makes buying little embellishments for your cab or things like that a lot easier, because 1/12 scale is typical dollhouse scale. So buying little newspapers or a thermos or lunchbox for your driver's cab, or, you know, pack of smokes for the dash, will be very easy. I mean, I can show you. I've actually got I've got 1/12 scale step ladder there, and I've also got a 1/12 scale book. So that's a novel. It gives you an idea. I mean, it fits kind of exactly as it should be. So it will be very easy. I mean, we're building ones that like 1/8 scale, and getting things that sort of fit that scale aren't easy. So 1/12, I mean, the world's your oyster. You could get a little lighting and everything in 1/12 already made for dolls' houses. So it'd be perfect for that. But I think this is going to be a lovely thing. I really do. I really do. I'm big, very big. So that's it for issue 2. It's nice. I mean, this is the thing. I can't deny that this is a nice thing, but it's thin, and that's a concern. I mean, it's good because the size of this model, I suppose you don't want it huge because it's going to weigh too much. But the thickness of this is a concern. I don't think it would take a lot of pressure for me to bend this in half. Not just slightly bend it in half. It feels like the same thickness as slightly thicker than maybe a Coke can, which is, I don't know. I might be, you know, just worrying and nitpicking. I probably am, but it's a concern. And again, with those wing mirrors, once you put this on, you need to put this somewhere safe. Okay, and by safe, I mean on top of anything else. Nothing needs to go on top of this, because you might not be adding this door to the vehicle for months, possibly a year. This is to entice you in. You're not going to have a cab to attach that door to for a long time. I would almost advise not fitting that at all if you're building this. Collecting that part and waiting until you're either fitting the door card or you need to attach that door, because the longer that's on there and off the vehicle, the more chance you have of that getting snapped or getting damaged. So I would advise, if you can hold off building it, hold off building it if you're doing the full build. It's just some advice. But I mean, again, you're all adults. If you know that, hey, I'll be fine, I'm not going to snap it, go for it. I do like it, I do, but not going to do it. This is us out now at this point, because The next one's a tenner. I'm not paying 10 quid for a wheel, just not, that I'm never going to use. But I think I might revisit this. So we're doing a lot at the moment. We're currently building Ecto 1, we're building the Iron Man, we're building the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger, we're building R2-D2, and starting this month we will be building the Routemaster. We missed it the first time round, so the double-decker bus, the Routemaster, is currently being offered in a 1-year kit from Agora Models, and we will be doing that, so that will be on the channel. And that's the other reason why I can't do this. All the other ones I build with the kids, so it's something that I do with them. And the Routemaster is something just for me. It's something I want to do, just to sort of relax from work and chill. This is very stress relieving. If you've never done this hobby, seriously recommend it. And it's something I just want to do on my own. I can't justify spending another build on my own, so, and the kids wouldn't have any interest in this one. But when I finish the Routemaster, I'm going to be looking for another project. So this time next year, I'm going to be looking for something else to do. I might come back to Eddie Stobart. Or there might be something else at that point. There's a lot. I mean, there are a lot of very impressive builds being offered at the moment through a lot of companies and being trialled as well. There are 2 Batmobiles currently being trialled in France. I saw a Hummer yesterday. There's 2 tanks. I believe the Spitfire is coming back around. I missed that the first time. I'd like to do that. The Zero looks nice. There's a Titanic coming. The Hogwarts Express from Hachette is may or may not happen. That was tried a year ago. There's Knight Rider. There's a lot. This is a great hobby. It's fun to do. It is expensive, but again, as I've said before, no one's asking you to pay all this money in one go. It's a tenner a week is what it is, and it's worth every penny. If you get to just sort of sit and chill and relax and take a bit of time for yourself to do something you enjoy, go for it. But this Eddie Stobart's very nice. If you're into your haulage, if you're into your sort of classic British, go for it. It's a really good one. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in seeing other builds, you can see them on our channel. We're not trying to grow a big YouTube channel or anything like that, but if you'd like to subscribe to see them when they come through, typically we do one a week. We'd love to have you, man. So thanks for watching, and good luck with your builds.